Have you ever heard a story that takes your breath away? One that you can't wait to share with your friends? Well, I just heard one that I had to tell you about. It's a true story about a war hero, a giant, one-of-a-kind bear, and a remarkable lifelong bond. It's the incredible story of Wojtek, the bear. It's a story that's full of drama and emotion. One that will tug at your heartstrings and make you laugh simultaneously. It's a story that will leave you with a powerful memory you won't forget soon. A young boy from Hamadan, Iran, had a chance encounter with something unexpected. He stumbled across a female bear that had been shot, and by her side was a helpless baby bear cub. Not wanting the cub to suffer, the boy decided to take it and sell it to a Polish refugee who had recently fled the Soviet Union. The refugee gave the bear cub all the love and care it needed, and in no time, it had grown too big for her to keep. She donated the bear cub to the 22nd Artillery Supply Company of the Polish II Corps. The soldiers were ecstatic to have this unique pet join their ranks. They named him Wojtek, pronounced Wojtek. They cared for him like a brother, giving him condensed milk, fruit, marmalade, honey, and syrup. He even got in on the fun when they had a beer. He would take a sip and love it. He also developed a habit of smoking cigarettes. Wojtek became an integral part of the 22nd Artillery Supply Company, growing a strong bond with the soldiers. They all felt like he was one of the boys. The soldiers were delighted to have such an extraordinary pet and chose the name Wojtek for him. They took good care of him, feeding him condensed milk, fruit, marmalade, honey, and syrup. Wojtek also shared the soldiers' beer, a treat he seemed to love. Even more surprising was his habit of smoking cigarettes, something he had picked up from his human friends. His bond with the 22nd Artillery Supply Company grew strong, and soon, he was one of the boys, just like the rest. The 22nd Company adopted Wojtek as their mascot, and he accompanied them on their journey to Palestine. He was quite the character, often lounging around campfires with the boys, smoking and drinking beer. He even had his sleeping bag and would sleep in the same tent as the rest of the soldiers. Over time, Wojtek's presence brought the troop comfort, and he became a part of their family. Clearly, he was an essential part of the troops' morale, and the soldiers grew to love their bear mascot. Wojtek certainly had a favorite activity, wrestling with the soldiers. They were no match for the fully grown bear, yet he was always gentle, enjoying the roughhousing playfully. Wojtek was a force to be reckoned with. He was gentle despite his size, making it a fun game for everyone involved. Watching the soldiers wrestle with a bear must have been a sight to behold. Even as a fully grown bear, he was still a gentle giant, and everyone who knew him enjoyed his company. Imagine seeing a giant bear in the passenger seat of a military vehicle as it drives through town. People would be amazed and shocked, for sure. It would be like something out of a movie. Wojtek was an incredible bear who loved riding along in the convoys with his fellow soldiers. He'd sit in the front seat with his head sticking out the window and salute when the soldiers were greeted. It would be a sight to behold. Who wouldn't want to see a bear riding shotgun in a military vehicle? The British High Command had a hard-fast rule against pets and animals in their camp, creating a big problem for the 22nd Command. After some quick talking, they were able to get the Polish army to enlist Wojtek, the bear, into their ranks. His military career began as a private, and he quickly rose through the ranks. He received an official serial number and was included in all official unit rosters. Wojtek was now an official soldier in the Polish army. The Battle of Monte Cassino is remembered for its brutality and the valiant efforts of the Polish army, including the beloved Wojtek. He was right by their side during the fight, hauling heavy ammunition and offering moral support. The Polish army pushed back hard against their enemy and ultimately captured Monte Cassino, a significant victory on the Western Front. Wojciech's bravery and loyalty earned him a place in history, and the 22nd Command will never forget his courage. His size was what made him so important. He was able to carry multiple 100-pound boxes of ammunition from the supply trucks up to the front lines. He was a hero to the Polish soldiers as he tirelessly worked to deliver the necessary supplies to the positions all over the battlefield. His help was invaluable as it allowed the Poles to gain an advantage over the opposing forces and eventually take the fortress. With his help, the Poles were able to break the stalemate and secure their victory. Wojciech was undoubtedly a hero. His actions during the Battle of Monte Cassino in 1944 were incredibly inspiring to the soldiers. His courage and strength took the 22nd Artillery Supply Company to the battlefield. They decided to commemorate it with a change of their insignia. The insignia depicts Wojciech carrying an armload of howitzer ammunition, a testament to his bravery and courage in facing adversity. He will forever be remembered for his heroic actions and impact on all the soldiers who fought alongside him. After the war in 1945, Wojciech and many other soldiers were reassigned to far-flung places. After 2 years of hard-fought battles in Scotland, Wojciech was rewarded for his service and given the opportunity to retire with a life of luxury in the Edinburgh Zoo. Here, Wojciech was able to enjoy the comforts of a home, a warm bed, and plenty of food. The zoo's visitors were also taken with the bear's friendly nature, and he was often seen playing with the children who visited. Wojciech's life in the zoo was one of leisure and relaxation. Wojciech always put on a show at the Edinburgh Zoo for his visitors. He was particularly fond of anyone who would speak to him in Polish and would respond enthusiastically. Wojciech's fame spread far and wide, and people from all corners of the globe made the pilgrimage to meet him. He was a beloved attraction and a celebrated hero, and his popularity only seemed to grow with time. Every day, a sea of people would flock to the zoo to meet him and exchange words with the remarkable bear. The bond between Wojciech and his fellow soldiers was strong, and they often visited him with gifts of cigarettes, which made him incredibly happy. Even more remarkable was the sight of the soldiers jumping into his enclosure to wrestle with him in front of the audience. The crowd was always in awe whenever the soldiers would visit Wojciech. Some of the soldiers had grown a strong bond with Wojciech. It was a sight to behold, and the crowd would be left in amazement every time. The brave bear, Wojciech, has earned his rightful place in history. His heroic accomplishments during World War II have been honored with plaques and statues worldwide. From Poland to Edinburgh, to the Imperial War Museum, to the Canadian War Museum, his story of courage has been immortalized in these commemorations. He has truly been given the recognition he deserves, and his legacy will continue to live on for generations to come. Wojciech was an incredible bear in the history of humankind. His death was a tragic loss to the world. He was a true war hero and made an honorary member of the Scottish-Polish Association. He died at just 22 years of age, but his legacy lives on in the hearts of many. His bravery and commitment to fighting for freedom will never be forgotten. Wojciech was an unsung hero and a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is still hope. Standing tall at over 6 feet and weighing more than 500 pounds, Wojciech was intimidating. He struck fear into the hearts of even the bravest of enemies, and his fellow soldiers knew he was a loyal friend who would never hurt them. These men had raised Wojciech, and a strong bond of brotherhood had been formed. He fought alongside his comrades and showed them the same care and compassion they showed him. Together, they were an unbeatable team. Remarkably, Wojciech is so unique. Few animals have been used in battle, except for police K9s, which are remarkable in their own right. However, this baby bear cub was donated by a young refugee woman, and his personality made him so special. He wasn't trained to be heroic. He just was heroic, making him stand out above the rest. His unique personality was something that could never be taught, and it's this one trait that made Wojciech stand out from the rest. He was truly a remarkable animal and a true hero. Wojciech earned his place in history as a brave and loyal soldier of the Polish army. His heroic acts during World War II have become legendary, and his contributions to the war effort have been remarkable. When Wojciech first enlisted in the army, he was nothing more than a cuddly cub. However, with the valuable skills and abilities he developed over the years, he proved a formidable asset. Wojciech's courage and selflessness will never be forgotten. That is an incredible story, isn't it? Wojciech is a real-life hero, not just a furry one. He symbolized loyalty and friendship that was far too special to ignore. Wojciech was a friend to his fellow soldiers, and his story is one that will never be forgotten. The most amazing part of Wojciech's story is that he was able to do so much, despite his size. He was able to make a difference and be a friend even though he was a giant bear. What do you think?